The Iglesia ni Cristo celebrates its 104th anniversary on July 27, 2018, which also marks the 50th year of its foreign mission. The highlights of celebrations worldwide was the dedication of a new house of worship in Eva Beach in Hawaii, officiated by Executive Minister Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. The dedication of the 810-seater house of worship in Eva Beach is particularly significant as this was where the first local congregation of the Iglesia ni Cristo outside of the Philippines was established 50 years ago, particularly on July 27, 1968. The Iglesia ni Cristo Church of Christ is a global church with over 6,000 congregations worldwide. Find out how this church continues to grow. This report from Leander Denver Garcia.
Registered with the Philippine government on July 27, 1914, the Iglesia ni Cristo Church of Christ was first administered by Brother Felix Y. Manalo. From its pioneering years in Manila, the church quickly spread throughout this archipelago in the Far East. When its first executive minister was laid to rest in April 1963, the church already had established ecclesiastical districts in more than half of all provinces in the country. In 1968, the Church of Christ, then led by its second executive minister, Brother Eduardo G. Manalo, successively established the first two local congregations in the United States of America, in Honolulu, Hawaii, and in San Francisco, California. This began the church expansion in the far west and the rest of the world. Thus today, the Church of Christ celebrates its 104th founding anniversary in the Philippines and 50th year of establishment in the West. Before the end of the 70s, the church went on to spread throughout the continents of North America, establishing local congregations and group worship services in other states and territories, such as New York and Guam in 1969, and Canada in 1971. In Europe, the first local congregation was established in London, now Battersea, in 1972. Australia in mid-70s. In Asia, Iglesia ni Cristo congregations were established in China by way of Hong Kong in 1974, Thailand in 1976, and Japan in 1977, and Africa, Nigeria and South Africa in 1978. By the end of the 80s, there were local congregations and group worship services in the Scandinavian countries and other neighbors. The first local congregation in Latin America was established in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba in 1990. Congregations were also established in world cities that are of great relevance to the history of Christianity. Rome, Italy on July 27, 1994, Jerusalem, Israel on March 31, 1996, and Athens, Greece on May 10, 1997. At the dawn of the new millennium, the church mission reached South Africa with the establishment of group worship services in Brazil and Peru. Before Brother Eduardo Manalo was laid to rest on August 31, 2009, the church had been spreading continuously in different parts of the world. And today, through the leadership of its present executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, the church continues to progress and succeed. Its membership has been constantly increasing and spread to more countries such as in the continent of Africa and in India. The Church of Christ today has an international membership comprising more than 130 nationalities. It maintains more than 7,000 congregations and missions grouped into 142 ecclesiastical districts in over 143 countries and territories in all the inhabited continents of the world. Thousands of ministers and church officers are being added worldwide. The construction and renovation of houses of worship, church edifice, and other structures also continue, not only in the Philippines but also in other countries. The houses of worship in Washington, D.C., Barcelona, Spain, and Amsterdam, the Netherlands, are just a few of those outside the Philippines that were dedicated to God in recent years, thus strengthening the church presence in other countries worldwide. On July 21, 2014, the Iglesia ni Cristo inaugurated the Philippine Arena, currently the world's largest mixed-use indoor theater. This mega structure that sits in Ciudad de Victoria, Bocaue, Bulacan, was the venue of the church centennial celebration held on July 27, 2014, which was attended by millions of its members from all over the world. Concerned with the welfare not only of its members but also of society in general, the Church of Christ initiates programs that promote its Christian values in its various fields of endeavor. Through its Christian family organizations, the Church of Christ conducts seminars, get-togethers, and other activities that uphold the biblical ideals on marriage, parenting, and family relationships. Promoting good health and clean living, the Church of Christ mounts free medical dental missions, blood donation drives, health seminars, and other related campaigns. Its New Era General Hospital not only caters to the concerns mostly of its ministers and members, but also helps in mobilizing volunteers for the church medical missions. The Church of Christ support on education has given rise to the establishment of the New Era University. And through the Iglesia ni Cristo School for Ministers, the church administration trains men to help in overseeing and in propagating God's words for man's salvation. Recognizing the value of sports not only for personal development but also for building up team spirit and unity, the church constantly holds sports activities under the banner of Unity Games. The Church of Christ Aid to Humanity program has benefited multitudes of people in need, from calamity victims to indigents and indigenous peoples. This outreach program was started by Brother Eranio Manalo, and it is now being intensified by Brother Eduardo Manalo in the implementation of international aid to humanity. Through its implementing arm, the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation, the church gives assistance to the needy in all parts of the world. The Church of Christ establishes resettlement communities consisting of housing units, livelihood sites, and houses of worship. Recently established are those in Sitio Alang-Alang, Leyte, Philippines, for the displaced survivors of Typhoon Haiyan, in Paracale, Camarines Norte, for the Kabihog tribe, and in Barangay Danlag, Tampakan, South Cotabato, for the Blaan indigenous people. Another eco farm was also established in Ladybrand, South Africa, as part of the Iglesia ni Cristo program to fight poverty. In view of these tremendous victories of the Church of Christ, Robert Reed wrote in his book, Pattern of Migrations in Southeast Asia, that the Iglesia ni Cristo has been transformed into the most dynamic and powerful indigenous belief system in the Philippines. Growing at a phenomenal rate, this upstart community of faith, we have been recently surpassed Islam as the nation's second largest religion. Indeed, the INC may be the most successful form of indigenous Christianity emanating from the Third World in this century. For the members of the Iglesia ni Cristo, they recognize and firmly believe that these victories of the Church is a fulfillment of God's promise written in Isaiah 41:20 that says, that they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord has done this, and the Holy One of Israel has created it. For the Iglesia ni Cristo Anniversary Special Report, I am Leander Denver Garcia. I am one with 25.